Osno amanyoko NPP no enche na omu koyi kandini sebeye Kennedy sebeye Bawumia bra champon kobre Japan ana Dr. Duchum menu ntimi kire.
A very difficult president, which is Obampenyin Dada Akufo-Addo. Or a very, very arrogant, many knowledge. We need respect many pa. Obedi Ghana ne so. Nana dwenye ni say obedi Ghana so no de nyala ho. Eni na busua. What you say? Akufo-Addo treat most people even within his own party. Akufo-Addo do maybe now when you really feel that there's election ahead of him. Akufo-Addo do maybe now the highly disrespectful even to the chiefs not too much. He want to have one of the media stations there and I Yebusa say I'm paying among for walk brace on my coin. Now why nyam to Abama. Wasn't before me me want to me for
Katachie michiao ohene.
So
Opanyino we de me ba nchen tietia akoye amanyo ye oman obi aka ho bi na ye osno amanyoko NPP no enche na omu koyi kandini sebeye Kennedy sebeye Bawumia bra champon kobre Japan ana Dr. Duchum menu ntimi kire na emu akoye amanyo ntino yebetima kire ya agene Katachie ohene pon wojidi se hwan na ebedi sa party na se amanyoko yi enim kan na je na wonim fa sa amanyoko no
yo openyi me mau ajubiem ana yo question obi some media say odi kan no say aye amanyo say amanyo dia na che say nipa ku bi o maka ho abom obi bi mu amanyo se mu yesa
sa pepepe
nka me dia yeah na I'm not much interested amanyo se mu because so ka say me sha plan na ebedi nkunimu a ebe di se betimi emprempre se me no ka say me metimi di madwena predict se asmesi ana obenten na ebedi nkunimu na de omuni se a political party inti omo contest no within their party rank no obi are qualified to be a leader but you obi are qualified to be the leader of a country within the five no it's among the NPP electorate so at you say no within them no as I said obi are qualified to them obi are qualified to lead the party but then you be an qualified see between the Ghana shenisa nzo busamia eno na mimi
yo en komono akoye bebre ebesi Dr. Bawumia obey running mate 8 years was a vice president 8 years okaboma 16 years mfie dunsia animonyam bia was a Ghana sheni bia ya hye no teka wo ma no ho kwan na obifu from ra obesu se kada Japan ya da bia okasa yi wo sekai die na wo pebiem ebese bra champon no Dr. Duchum nyina enne amanyo sam ene omo nkasa modem bo adwuma mo ye no amomodi ye ndiga kikikikiri no ehu hia but akoya amanyo sam wo ye de ya so wo kandini o se koya Ken ana Bawumia ana se Brian ana se Duchum ana se Kwabena Japan ojide se party no NPP no betime ye obi a Ghana pe amaye
Mr. Just one thing is also the car, you know. So we acquire a fisem. So me can say what you say, sir. So me can acquire a fisem. What I mean is a election for a certain political party.
Exactly.
A election for the nation. So me comment on this particular election no might not matter that much because me member of, even if I'm a member of NPP, I think the only delegates in a day elected only leader. Knowledge we in general elections and I involve entire country citizens.
Okay.
And entire MPP members who be on against them. we only for the delegates. Say delegates in Kwan so they are me. I don't qualify to elect any of them. Okay, so but Penny say me ko bi na man ka bi die. Ene nka wan kokora na nka ye. Akoya amanyosem ene ye Ghana e fa Ghana ho. Ene na beba e bia oboda me kakra ama me so ma kire ma dwene. Me ma dwene se mu no. Omo nyina se de o kan the beginning no. Omanya oman so mfa so bebrebe e kire me ni wi no. O ti ase. Ense fenke banisa. Because oman wo ho na adidie bi wo ma. Ense fenke kromani mu nipa nyina yenya ne pepepe na politicians no. Omo wa adwene bi se omo nko an qualified to take the portion, the better portion of the state cake. So, why no? I don't know, yeah, no, my opinion. Omo say, omo nko qualify, ana omo qualify. Say, obi kura qualify na onyoy amanyoku bia. Most of the times, it doesn't matter how intellectual, how knowledgeable, how experienced obi wo on mind to you. For position because you are not one of them. So what you say? Any problem as a people. We don't elect people who can do the job. We elect people who are part of us, which is belonging to their political class or political party. So that's any day in getting answer any amount bit my own mind. Yedi mpedi for dia nka anybody will be nka ebe some combat makofa e so mo konde so mo pegana amanyo ni regana man fa be so mo sase mo niso so what you say no yeah be before no anybody will be so if you more so what national share the way I Ghana for criteria omo de pick obi ana omo de trust obi a is what na say what make sense I say that. In fact, sometimes you too quite to swap away. So what you say? I might have said, think I am a happy crown, I can't share in Ghana. Yeah. And can't share by said almost now. What you say? When you say Ghana, price if ye and now we talk car, they expensive. You couldn't so in answer for a Kenyan support society, actually, the count. And I'm a boy. Sir, but the book of Ghana, a bank of Busia.
And I said, I've been rental car, renting or team or did you?
The owns of renting or video. Into the often say rent crown, I just say, Ubako Naka at the corner crown. Nanyakia. What you say? The city public based on JD. And yet, so it's a media. Omunino said, okay, Dr. Bawumia also say, I come 8 times as
Oko 8 years as a running mate to a party, and was a vice president of the Republic of Ghana. 8 years.
Yeah, as a running mate. Okay.
And to here, and the Munyamuna, a few dunsia. And was vice president for 8 years. 8 plus 8, no more dunsia. Yes, sir. Running mate for 8 years, vice president for 8 years.
Running mate, dear. It's just a position. It's just a nominee. Because you just appointed to be a running mate, but you don't hold any office. Any office be a demand. So I said, yeah, me too. Quite a bit of my country. Say Say me too. Quite. Say me qua. And now continue. Qua ukujame no. Every pay. Now running mate, So one renewed elections now. Just mere slogan keke. So. Just me a slogan keke. In fact, my nyeshi. So now maybe a kakra me can say Ghana for no more when it comes to who they want him to lead the country.
All right.
Because any behind the qualified see do my son is
yo. Let's speak to fact with fact. Dr. Bawumia after Obey vice president, NPP didn't be denied say Omu Frank Atuni. And my results on Yano, as so any internet a beast to say resource ya opanyini NPP de ne buy onyae amwa so enka be yanka ontwe ne ho nenka obi foforo mra sa asem no so mo say.
So I keep stand where I was. Acquire efficient and it belongs to a certain political party. So what you say?
Yeah.
Say you ewa and automatic obey Ghana mampenia and come we can. And so no where you are, you only for your political party taking to contest for the next general elections. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
Which is next 3 years. And you're bad. So we're like now imagine the interest of Ghanaians or please the interest of Ghana, then he will make to be a president elect for the country. And then the mama being in a might be a bit media and what I can be saying yes, then a mekay and can say I mean no. Penny Abedi said that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So Ghana Bako Semua. Me de minimum responsibility there, but South Ghana Bako Semua. Oye, one person one make you recorder. Ubiya yebi. Me knowledge no. Se me boa obi so betimi up contest ana obi betimi up contest the maker by all this people the me person make am. The way any say ama me make kasa ani say. Oshe ye fourth republic ya. Ye bad democracy no. Ye first president enya na ye omampanyin wonya ne baby ko. His Excellency President J. Rawlings. Only a first democratic president on the fourth republic. And okay, so near practice be Kwame Nkrumah Mutai that I made the name me I don't want to talk about things mean privilege. So at yes. There's also Rawlings Amamu Bano. Rawlings being a vice president near friend Aka, a call in cancer Aka.
A Kinson Aka.
Yes, Aka may narrate a diamond for any DH. Aka by your mampenia BDH for so many years. Instead that time you call a furnace a revolution. Na ye coup d'etat na ye be dia de umuna Rawlings a democratic elected president. Na e ko ne swaba and o winning and we me boss Professor Mills, very noble intelligent man. So Professor Mills buy no onuna onka or set fair space by introducing VAT VAT valid added tax. Professor Mills buy no the impactation no was Jamaican was VAT. Okay, or your idea be to be honest. Or your idea pa Professor Mills your idea pa inti free ho and jump free also a call His Excellency ex-President J. Akufo. Omampanyi Akufo time also no. Na the Vice President friend Aliu Mahama. Omampanyi Aliu Mahama ena ono omampanyi obeboa omampanyi Akufo e wonu nwuma yim. Ama mfie nwotwe no e ba besi ni koye. Ofri ho ena a jump call friend say Professor Mills na no ye vice inter Rawlings time no ono be president. Obey president no ena unya na bedi echi the current president then John Dramani Mahama his vice, which is the current His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ofri ho ena eba na Akufo-Addo. Na Akufo-Addo buy Professor Miss Omampanyi Mahama buy no eno so yi pa akwasi Amisa Ata the vice. Enti oni pa akwasi Amisa Ata ena na eye adwuma. Enti Kofi Anto Ata na papa no efri mu. Ofri ho ena amamu nsa shift enti usha Professor Mills the dwuma dia odi Rawlings time no Ghana for onan by giving the opportunity to serve as a president. Ena ono so baye no mampanyi na ono so sebi ofri mu ntem enti ebedi Mahama ho na Mahama epeke Mampenyin that ebe bi achiri Mr. Paku se Mr. It is also trace na ofiri ho e na mampenyin Akufo-Addo obaye e no so de ya mampenyin abedi achiri dada Bawumia de ebaye ena Bawumia free ho ena John Dramani Mahama na oba first na saba na this time around odo oba aba me twa picture we actually na odo wani person wani coach nti uhwe race na all the vice presidents yeah highly significant Professor Mills then no vice na Mr. Bawumia vice that is on the current vice with him. Now share obia impactation in the country. Bawumia were exceptional. The exceptionally now me can say on time no. Though he was so vice president position no, you don't hold the authoritative powers in the land. So what you say? We obi who assist obi e won adwuma yimu. Enti no uka asema nipa no opa e na oye den offer ompa omfa. In this case no enye ne obeka bia na nipa ndi be adwuma e na ho so kra no na most times no so help mampenyin that Rollins any Mr. Nkon's Mr. Ka story na idumiri kwa mane koye ntoka because kan asema na Rollins mfa bet ye ba na ye bo mu nyina edin ema ntoka kakra ba omuntem so what you say na sa ntokwa na ba omuntem no ema mampenyin dada Rollins change ya ka no go fa personals so we say story ni nyina na it tells you clearly say mampenyin be the chire for no and you know we in charge of the affairs of the country so what you say we bet me contribute to idea but why idea no and the finality decision for the country why idea no will be heard ye beti but ye pa him fa nye adwuma so I'm pretty sa ga na tie it's me no I'm Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so international shini na person kan krepa you give him credit obaye no and all the interoperability we ni baye what he does is there was no mobile money pay system in Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and introduce mobile wallet cash transfer to banks transaction it was under his maneuver under his permission so what you say because na was knowledge no and the whole Ghana started Ghana be Ghana no yenya economics ye dey o man na okay Mr. Mills is not a tax expert it dem fan say na economics knowledge kakra but no only fully economics Bawumia dey oye a student of economics so what you say no wa quadri economics in terms of management how to manage money affairs of economic staffs for a very good on that field it's all about Bawumia a quite call fast NPP for offer and buy here they bring into the ball based on trust so what you say because no to say our knowledge about so many things and he has but unfortunately he was a vice president to a very difficult president which is mampenyin dada Akufo-Addo Akufo-Addo me from a distance no me who say the dealing is very very difficult or a very difficult president me gina chira de me hu no sa na ma pe ma maka again tin America sir is because in a kind of governance time of ruling as a president me notice no ma me ensa e papa no or very very arrogant me knowledge he was very arrogant the arrogance me nyini say ono ankasa wo ya aware so we arrogant Emuno, Abe su, and he doesn't realize that dear me too arrogant because in many occasions and instances no or demonstrating you who some Akufo-Addo were very arrogant. And in Tistani Pano, say, what do you Abedi say, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia man is already near Juma, a very diama, said Bawumia Puse or Kansema, Padibiti, in Tiamfan on Chineho. 2, Akufo-Addo would need respect and many pa. Besides the arrogance, leading to that, say, we say, any part we need to send me, so I need to feel like the way people feel. Onibi. And Tina Unitima Manipa. And a 3. Osa, a journey, a certain mindset in a bedi Ghana so. Obedi Ghana so. Nana Junior said, Obedi Ghana so no de Yalamu, and in a bushia. So I know my me and some pen or babidi akunam senti. So obi blame Bawumia. Say me knowledge na me tena me assess ya. Obi blame Bawumia enye. So person who's Bawumia ne competency Akufo the suban. Let us say Bawumia or can some crime nyini sana or can some will be create no dia ye adwuma. Because when Akufo bit match with him aka asem no insa asem a o kan enya no kre ana onye but obi timi chena we nima ye bold aka achiro. So what you say? Ina the pepe say odi blame no koma ondun abedi achira enyo ema final decision a ebe yo tan hunu keke meminya NPP ni nti make my come say the city pepe. So what you say? Because I'm not part of them. So obi o ha ojo oku ni bi enti ne kan be anything but ye njo bi ni de e make my can say the city because in any case omu ni power bi so that they can use those powers to overpower other people. It needs to mean almost, but you see, we are assessing them based on almost sitting on money a better night. And you know, when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chance unyaya, nanko be more because me can say, you beko 11 no, you be set in 11 no. Within the NPP no, me tesi Bawumia say on supporting the e-levy agenda. And I'm so even he make attempt send ko be resign cry and yes who yes you be call election na be affect party no and blah 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 no ko danchen abetwam ko in this share with ubu nkompon ko hwe wachi a or a knowledgeable person as compared to the 4 people no more contesting no in terms of governance no because we are open. So what you say menka say other 4 no eni meka obia pemi de minimum no meka obia standard a minim say o qualify na standard the city usigina nti Bawumia de enka wo hwa ono na ye de enka right person now for the party in terms of nimdiem ene amanyosem no ono no akodare mu chen all the other 4 na omupese omonene e contest no nso so no enye ho na amanyosem no ya na bebre hwe free on nipa relationship aban no kra na omuwom no treatment omudima some party members be it may be rise against others and I wish you obi dey say come na Japan a very knowledgeable person engineer come na Japan ono so in India amanyosem mo e konkan as to compare to all the 4 ono amanyo sem hunim die no so pass o munyina political administrative na nse ono no the field of governance no as a leader I think say wabeye different. I quite remember in the previous position at President Akufo refit. But as a general leader, to say vice president, the president, them say Onyan Drew Hoye. Afi, and the first one who just untimi in Drew and untimi. In terms of say, yeah. Di nyansani nimdie amanyosem ekire adwene contribute to idea no or you're superb, or you're very, very intelligent on that field. And what position we field now making. You see, I can't say too much about him because we need the opportunity to show what he can do. When it comes to education, a former Minister of Education. In fact, you're too fantastic when it comes to the field of education. Obey educational minister, no? Oh yeah, so marvelous works. The day the fame will be a who you know pa oh yeah. Why are there? In fact, or constructing new facilities for the new schools, even in the rural areas, any deprived or remote areas. So share pre-education said you also see handle no. Start with Napo as the vice and obey minister designate. Namswa or the Abedu Pempe, so as see, or Pefrag bearership. No, so yeah, no about Mr. Brian Echampo. Mr. Brian, no national security, and I'm going to call Agric. In terms of national security, no, or yeah, do in terms of the security affairs, no, any opinion, Anna, etimase. You know, Brian, so in terms of business, so or yeah, business-oriented person. When you acquire first investment, that dynamo. Chikasem and America, so now, over the Almighty Canada, Japan, so and say, are you very vocal, very outspoken person? Or can I join? And are you very bold person? Me best of knowledge, and I'm a day assess so many now. The American, me best of knowledge. And I'm in Japan, are you very straightforward person? But you see, or a businessman, or also so pay him no, or according to him, or be a human baby. Or the Pia or Tau to say, oh, yeah, the Ghana manner, or with my managing, said you managing in human. But my problem is, I didn't think Ghana for one person, mommy to me, and son, and my yet, they miss me to my head. That's why I have a problem with the people. Because we say big men, they don't need to be a president. Spend or open infrastructures or open companies to employ people. They don't need to be a president. They don't. Also make us make a place or you're very good. But in terms of my full managemental process, there was so much full knowledge of management because you are going to manage the people, the affairs of the state, the resources, any NPP, you need to manage it. Sometimes you know say nipa we agree so mama ko preposition me pa meet me nya we are competent to hold such high positions in the administration in the government na aboa me but say wo knowledge of form e will be ho a ye book ase asebe you better know say ade a didi me but they make what you say for example what do you make to finance also need any background about finance say me the numbers be na me twist wadwene a President, Ubahunu na nipana ya bonia kwa chipa. So they make to health. Na me expertise on health no ewo formwa. Maybe bone ama akwa chiri ansana wenya knowledge. Say the me ye so change me kra. Or so ye reshuffle. But in all no nipa 5 amabo mu din nyina. Say us yesi de no kre na e kan sema. Na nye tribal Nenye political mahant, nenye hatred. Bawumia credential surpasses all of them. To be frank and honest, Bawumia credential surpasses all of them because of full economics. So what you say? And yet, by all means, someone need to be economic before he become a president. But yeah, dispensation in Ghana, a third world country, no. I was so need to be all managerial ideas, any capacity to manage your affairs. Because
me try no, Panyasi the job and they small. I mean, anything I will be a vice president na you senka into to be koyi. But Ghana for is your opinion, ma. Omo to NPP aban no egui. Bawumia edi Bawumia na edi mutintin ban pa o. Enti say me kai beginning is now what say now on active like now almost in the coin policy making. But I don't know one o e catch no be said okay say approach it in say like no be wo ha enka approach na can happen. So as no obisbeka to say so now when him say okay he levy asem nye oka taxes ho asem nye any resign no obi ehun say dwumadi de ma ho no oka omumfa na ko obi ehun say eh papa ye oka no manti o but what na wa man fin wotwe na ba ma ye twam ma wasa ba ye flag bearer ama party na din kugo dia wan na wo kosusu ho atwe ne say oh you the best economist mama san twa wadwene ko lectures plethora of lectures or give you when NPP was in opposition. I just say, Obi say when it comes to economics, I guess a Ghana how you need economics papa biao. But once again, you did Ghana say or mine ye. Akufo-Addo president, or your vice, Mumumi Ghana forced daddy, Munko Tenefi in 2024. And Bawumia may have all the credentials, but you had timing, no. Among your 7 years, Ghana ye epe. Timing, Emre almost says here, would Bawumia be a better choice for the NPP, or would Kenya Japan or Brian or a Japan or a Bichum be a better choice?
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, dear. I'm say, make us as I still stand. Bawumia in opposition with a matter of hope. Any chest out now unim say a bar that in managerial affairs, economic affairs, financial affairs, yet the man on a young farmer. Though in politics, vice president, you know, you're in charge of the economic affairs. But under Akufo-Addo and Tessa, under Akufo-Addo, you for Riata, any guy been as antibody too. So what you say? You will be there a ceremonial we are in himself on our headway, but you have the opportunity to do what you can do. So, what can simply say? Adena one resign. It will be a suicide for Bawumia to resign whilst they were in power. Then it's in a political career, no. Wakuno. What let me say? Because Orizaya, he can't contest in the ticket of NPP. And maybe he wasn't in the interest to also go for opposition and as an independent party. And he, unlike Alan Shamatin, it drew maybe now Alan Shamatin, I think it's on the 7th year. Who's a normal, still a normal and function the way he proposed to the president. So no put name ministerial, so or resign. What you say? Or resign, you know, and for people be amreno. Let me what you say. Because he resigned and form his own party. And Alan, you're one fine candidate, but he has moved from the bigger portion of political side, no, to form a minor political party. Friend. Afrafanto and says it's also from United Party.
United Party, UP, United Party.
Good. So in this case, you know, we are work inside and our foresight and our we study things for long, you know. You may not wish to depart from a car with a accident. For example, we meet our cable. And a driver no driver careless. And a oka unti. The only thing I'll be in so bomb pies a can back with Jina Boko, Nejina, now I found one. Either so any bay juma, and now any yuma, and I'm a boy. So we make attempt second economy racia ubewu abra car need kwa na nkonya accident. Because a moving vehicle no o jump push from a be roll you when it's be chinu we bu afaso. Ahekwa na okon akwesibo. So Bawumia not resigning no. In politics no is the best decision he took. But quite be so no obiso kasa nipa me right say why didn't you resign? But in all no obi adwenchire. But me die so obusamia NPP as a political party they want power or opposition. So what the candidate bar candidate Bia is going to be new to Ghanaians. And don't forget, say, a new candidate can never win election in a third world country because we are base. I will say people need to patronize him a lot for a long time. And Bawumia is one person. They have tried him, and in terms of percentage wise, we are 41% against the last elections. 41% no win. They only need 9+1 to emerge victory. What you say?
But 1.7 million vote gap. It's not easy to bridge. And Bufona Ghana for the Kotua ban.
It's very easy.
Okay.
Because the anger was not on Bawumia, it was on Akufo-Addo. Bawumia lose the election because of what people have against Akufo-Addo, and therefore the NPP in general. What you say? Akufo-Addo treaty most people, even within his own party. Akufo-Addo do maybe now when you really feel there's election ahead of him. Akufo-Addo do maybe not the highly disrespectful even to the chiefs, not too much. Akufo-Addo was highly disrespectful to the electorate. Or a place in Ashanti region. No. He went to one of the media stations. Yeah, I think so, it was PFM also. And I said, I'm paying. I'm on for a brace, I'm a quine. Now, why, to Abama. Wasn't before Mumbai. Me want to me for Mumbai.
That was Otek FM.
Ever. Man to Abana, me for Mumbai. Now, who want to me, you see, such an arrogant posture and say a leader in a campaign era, a freelance. But you see, habit subai etinipa mu lives in one. Until you can't hide a character. Nothing can stop character when he really wants to come out. And when you identify nipa, your character identify who you are. Until a idea when you na san or tia na ontimense sa obet ebe woni mu akopin so beku arrogance nti sa no manene okwa ye ose wo hini bia nsole anchia no minim de na usole gina wo chia de bebre no na edume bi na I say wo ujon ekuo wo amanyukuo. You see, don't forget that in political party the representative of the people is the MPs, member of parliament. They are the representatives of the constituents, the people, the voters. It is only 90 adjoining Abekacho so Mampany. Yeshemuno, the finance minister. After your ministers was so your reshuffle. The Oma mechanic public even the MPs, member of parliament. Strong winds. According to information, they say he denied them even having meeting with them. So what you say? So he denied them.
Biana can say, sir, or political experience, no, and no been a Ghana for the target and others. Oh, a Bama, your Samu. HDD were the church from 1977. And the papa when your man acquire or Baba Yagana ye or anti corrupt.
Bawumia, dealing with dear man your cemetery. Bawumia, in any case, Bawumia wasn't an NPP member. So Bawumia became known to Ghanaians based on the credentials. Amampenya Akufo-Addo his slogan, any some friends, ni old politicians, be na omu head by hook or crook, and omu canvass a company, a lie, malign lies and whatever to people for people to believe. Say, only when you see a crowd, you in Yahweh. Not knowing so an issue, but you see, in Akan proverb, is this will be person who dimuso na a chrono person who did so. Or so about brand uni if you cronima, Mumu is so a cushiony. But they make what you say. So we so decrubi so. No, so a bonnet bra or no dear bar or banner. They will move charm in the moon and century with me on Sana when we appoint here. Mumu is so become on tro or better down. It been a Akufo-Addo, a Akufo-Addo, or Mampenya Akufo-Addo, Mpenyida de Akufo-Addo. He lied to Ghanaians to power. He lied to them. I need to be frank and sincere. He lied to them. But you see, Okansembi said, now people say, oh, old politician who own him there. Bawumia own is different. Bawumia came in economic side. Somewhere here will be a boom. But Omunya put me in the way, you know. The reason to Omudia at far Bawumia. Mama Nanya, you want to me come out for Yata. So on the bank, on the bank, and you get the piano. Among for the proposal, Natana Alan, the Minister of Industries. Proposal, Homogenum de Atuo, Scabiano, Inisika, Sa. Mampenya for the with much respect, you know, one and one more ne philosophy, and in the future generation. ABI China be ni bush ni be person oba abaya amanyo Akufo-Addo amwasa afo ni nyina so because of chebi ana wo fra chem no obey politics Akufo-Addo nti ebe na benya dimbone because why anya deal under normal circumstances enko ye adwuma bebreba e sen kaka na fodo money to oye adwuma nye so anya adwuma oye adwuma pa but the adwuma ni nyina na I say oye Ghana fofi ba so oye ne kokoso ade se ni sika na odi bu o man no de ono no pe any demand necessary you the ono no pay and I know pay or share baby or na kwai muster they call the crew so what you say they ne call the crew chibi and you should do a crew 50 ni na a part of Ghana but why only there Tom even almost stronghold kwa na ya Ashanti region no not even my right and you see who assesses our normal way in Bawumia, different from Akufo-Addo in terms of experience in politics. Akufo-Addo was old politician. Bawumia was economist. So what you say? Intino, Bawumia me to a ya me no say. As I keep saying, we delegates in a leader. But don't forget, say leader be on be piano. Afena NDC for the dosage ebe babontin. Abe malai no. Who the canker in that person. But in terms as to Bawumia dear, or call last election in Tino, the only be on Becca be on my day. Oma can we? The Babekan Afan is when he was in opposition. And I don't have a fan of Kobakabia and Ghana for that any new mom. They make a what you say. So they need to, and under normal circumstances, less advisor. They need to rally behind Bawumia and then join hands and unitary front to be able to, you say NPP, NDC, almost so a problem. A basso and many winchibia is almost a bam in 20 Russia said who is going to succeed after Mama Esmith. But almost the but it's NPP, then I buy because the NPP every year. Omo man to last elections ni na because me dey ama monya 1 year me say dem who be extraordinary be aya Ghana people keep saying say o man ni majo adwo wo himfa na say na jada ba bi na adwo na because say like yan tadie any system ni and that's why people keep saying first year yam train the second year difference but for now only the Fanto. No, say people the power, they shouldn't bring a new candidate because party in power on the new candidate never also the new candidate bar or upper hand channel. So what you see? 39%, 41% na ye come with Dr. Bawumia said. It's because those 39% are the rare NPP members are more dear. Among 4 those people are really NPP members on so they are there. So it's MPP to work hard to retain percentage wise the more MPP for 1.7 as the same to Abano. Percentage wise increase NDC votes and yes to my NDC name NDC for to Abano. So what it means is the more DNA from no more DNA ice scale, no more DNA basro. Percentage wise, that's how it works. And Akufo-Addo who before to Abano say free baby trip. They say NPP for a petumia minim omuji BBD omudie you be better be omujidi na omu follow their stomach sanye sa na omudi sincerity ne value na eto no man dia come value who deserves na omudi tumi na man sa na me imagine
yo na me twa dwen si income share say yamanya so me yakoye income share you dis eboa because Germany honor Renat Bonkim no na sefo nyina free but on time to say mu Eshen come bebrisa about one be chancellor and German president. But Ghana there party be air co primaries and come share. Obi ko pe MP dia and come share. Ibe yim man panyina this and come share bansa. Oji this Ghana can transition from that phase to another phase. And I say yesu into every order. Now what do I know see me prep?
Yo. And commission, I said, just say, ni tree a day, and a bluff a day.
Like prophecy.
When him say, society be a Jimmy for doors. They try their best, those a Jimmy for the sub-you. Almost try our best to pull the people who don't feel so many answers to their level so that they can control them. When is sanity? One more example. Charles says, what was he saying? So ko baby na ko yensa for do so pa o na wo no mo kodi agura o mo be try ma wo be part of them so that o mo advance wa ensa no munti no o bet manya control over you unse sa ne wiastie yen society no intellectuals ne isa literacy standard ne very high and people believe mere speculation. People just believe mere speculation. Yes. No much they not they follow it. Yes, way you say no way you say. When you say Ghana pen will be who I choose to be in Kuno. And Sana, if you any normal be na as of phone be the so called of phone be. Etimatna says when you say this is the only way. Bit me a torment a month for Junama, you won't be shown Muna on my buying, saying because any catch them. Meanwhile, no be any that a bit. Ubu I catch any say, meaning none of them. A soften over no soften the picture, I don't know soften no, not yes. I had before ya, yet miracles di, yes, Christo catch Pharisees, Nisamo, Adia Mujidi and Sanchez, and Mimian Sanchez, and Ibian Semo. Nemu. Ebawo bano ama the 3 days of sorry na e de bone free aba eno yen senchene kenti a ogidi ni bia so ogidi yen society no beto aba na oma anye sa because the illiteracy level is too high to the extent say most of the people they dwell in churches and obia was so bia okọ ne nchen and I cartel asofo na timi the same mindset na gigi the poverty people majije here for nisika na omudi bi bua the elite people ka crab na ohu omo so omo asori no they invest in them. It what you be say for example a big man we Charles ekwa asori wa ha na Ernest ekwa asori wa ha enu nti no we na bua we we na obedi we so for we ho dance here over COVID 30-40 years un century because asori emphasis can invest business and our brabo. The masses now are the poor people. I'm not saying church going is not good, but based of unconscious in a mature. Inti amani pande bre ejidie abeyesi kromo ayetino. I just say all these men are lazy people. They don't have anything to do in life unless some jija man fusika. and they feel big on them. That's what you say. They don't have anything to depend on. Only be here to depend on than to take people for money from the poor, and they live on that money and feel big. Now, the other one who say the American and the cray, for compare Abuja, you know, we eat the corner simple comma a certain citizen who has said, may I bompai mammy, and I'm a Jumani, and now Bonia drinking what trust level, who say, Yakupon do nipping equally. And I give you happy nipabia is this trying to happen now happen. Boniji is anomaly. What you say? It Bruni means say, and you are soften the back candy basic because you're soften to miss a sachet in the realms of the spirit. They can only fool people by predicting so predictious. Because in life, you know, Mr. Charles, many dear Goya, you bet my case, oh, bet my cancer because of some study one channel, we wouldn't life in it. But yet, this ain't no crap, but a mindset. Also, politicians, you know, because they see numbers in the church, most of the politics are numbers. And even though they know that the politicians, so from what they are saying is not true, no, because they have the numbers, they will go there to be part of their fooling, so that they can get the numbers they want. What you say? I don't know. So before we have genuine men of God, of course, but 95% of those prophets, no. Fake, free nyame, nim free frakra, kasa baby but because at the end, the say we show say also we should be a madness because Metusala, the story in the Bible. Odi 900, unim the legacy ujai. He died. So what you are Bible says where they Jesus Christ every 33 years was so. The legacy ujai the Christianity or the buy any how to forgive sin. What you say? Your impartation is important as how long have it so. It's not how long you live. But impartation then we impact you as so. But so for naka chense obanwa or console be still out did it so for naka no cre. So and then you find stupidity no. Knowing the truth but believing lies no is stupidity. And you know, as of phone comes in our motion there, that's their way of living. And only crime for somebody. And they have tried their best. Even though most of them are illiterate, and they educated, almost are joining because one who say Kwasia for Kraya, school kaka. In Yamana, because ut training will be a one knowledge, or book knowledge, no side the criminal account, who's in Bibia. Nanina, if in Nigeria and Abagana, first, this and when in Ghana. Intermediate, Mr. Charles, Obusamia, media. Say NPP per victorious leader among Bawumia no rally united front. I mean unitary front to rally behind the man. No munyai pettiness ne bite ne ubia per se and NPP no problem no kasa ne do so party because they are telling you too much. So because you go to extent say could be personal life, will be family life, which has nothing to do with politics. Until we are how can people reconcile? Say young German inca. I brought the name and mat, but did my many papa. I don't have a big problem. Now, if you be needed, what did me an refia simtino? A beer, Nedrua, near Mombibia, the normal forget. Intermediate. So Ghana election so there be nyama mahama muni mai next 4 years no baby odi Ghana ba good and the decide say Ghana for any beje say NDC for yensa mo another chance ana ya unyo omusi nchen yemfa a new candidate mra me dem me tia na me hunu fa
That's it. You the best here, ne. Na emre sem ne sa ba nchen.
Yes, me that's. Now in count. Bye.